What if I told you that there was a hat, yes, a hat, that was so powerful, it caused Roblox to completely change how their platform functioned? Well, that hat exists, and it's called the Teapot Turret, a special hat given only to Roblox's most elite users, specifically site administrators and other Roblox employees, along with an extremely select few developers. A hat regarded as one of the most terrifying, destructive, and downright broken things ever added to the Roblox platform. But why? Why is the Teapot Turret so absurdly powerful? What made it so important, so impactful, that Roblox themselves were forced to push out an update to stop its reign of terror? Well, in this video, that's what we're here to find out. Because the Teapot Turret sent me down a rabbit hole you simply aren't ready for. So without further ado, let's begin. 2007, considered to be Roblox's greatest year, giving us anywhere from character animations to platform-wide events. But on top of website updates that are still a staple of the platform today, we got some of the best items ever released on the Roblox catalog. I'm talking about legendary pieces like the Sparkle Time Fedora and Wanwood Antlers, considered grails for most involved in the trading scene, but 2007 Roblox is known for something else entirely that has nothing to do with unique items. No, 2007 Roblox is almost more infamously known for its jank. But what made Roblox's jank so special was with how the platform itself worked. And in 2007, the site administrators were known for trying out all sorts of different things. From the introduction of customizable faces being the result of a community-led contest, to administrators communicating directly with players on the forums, it's this experimentation that gave Roblox an edge over other platforms. But with that desire to try new things and take risks came consequences that nobody could have seen coming. Take, for example, Clockwork. If you're at all familiar with the history of Roblox and the many games that draw inspiration from it, you have absolutely seen this character before. Clockwork was one of Roblox's earliest admins, most notably known for his two bespoke accessories, the Clockwork headphones and the Clockwork shades. The reason this is important is because Clockwork had the incredibly important job of uploading Roblox hats to the catalog. This was almost 12 years before the UGC program would be introduced in 2019. So for there to be anything uploaded to the catalog that was not from the official Roblox account was extremely rare, and people took notice. But with great power came great responsibility, and it wouldn't take long for Clockwork to make one grave mistake. A mistake that would shake the very foundations of Roblox.com. And it came in the form of the Teapot Turret. During this time period, there were many items that were created by Roblox admins for Roblox admins. The most famous of which being the ban hammer, an item that, while not actually banning anyone that's hit by it, is absolutely a sign of power amongst the Roblox community. It was common knowledge. Anyone with a ban hammer was not to be messed with. And I can only assume that the Teapot Turret was designed to achieve the exact same effect. However, Clockwork had ideas that went far beyond a simple gear that could strike fear into the hearts of any player. Ideas that could give the Teapot Turret even more notoriety than its big brother ban hammer. Instead of just making a cool item, Clockwork would instead give anyone who wore the Teapot Turret incredible superpowers. A dual orbiting ring of destructive fire, a point-and-click explosion capable of wiping out enemies in a single click, but the most terrifying of them all, Spinfire, a whirling cylinder of flame that would obliterate anything in its wake. It was clear that the Teapot Turret was no ordinary Roblox hat. In fact, what Clockwork did would not only have dramatic effects on any game the turret was featured in, but would almost destroy Roblox entirely from the inside out. But how? How could such an unassuming hat carry such immense power? Well, to understand that, we first need to understand how Roblox games actually work, because that will explain just how genuinely absurd the Teapot Turret was. You see, in most offline video games like Minecraft single player or Pokemon, you directly interact with the game world itself. There is no barrier between your actions in the game and the game responding to those actions. This is because you, the player, are quite literally the only thing that influences the game world. In a single player Minecraft world, no tree would fall without you, the player, chopping it down. Seems simple enough, right? Well, that's where it gets interesting. But first, only 20% of people watching this are subscribed, so if you've made it this far and have been enjoying the content, consider subscribing. It really helps this channel out. Roblox games work dramatically different than any other kind of traditional offline game. This is due to the fact that Roblox games are always online, with no way of playing without an internet connection. This is problem number one, because with this always online structure, Roblox games have to account for having multiple people in a single server, because most Roblox games are multiplayer games. This splits the control you as a player have over the game into two distinct categories: the client and the server. Think about it this way. When you open a menu in a Roblox game, you are the only person who is currently opening that menu. It's not like you open the menu and then the same menu opens for everybody else. This is because menus and other interactable user interfaces like buttons, name tags, and other 2D elements are client-side objects. However, when you swing a sword and deal damage to another player in the game, that impacts both you and the person you're fighting. You swing your sword to deal damage to the other person. Damage that other players can see. This is because sword fighting someone in a Roblox game is a server-side action, meaning that it shows up for all players. Weapons, items, and other game-related objects are all server-side because they provide valuable context for all players in a game. And this is where the problems begin for the Teapot Turret. And a long time ago, it was extremely easy to bridge the gap between the client and the server, causing nearly every client action to affect the entire game. Hopefully, you can see where I'm going with this. Hats, shirts, pants, and shirts and pants are all server-side. I can see them, you can see them, and everyone else in the game can see them. The same applies for the Teapot Turret. However, unlike literally every other hat in the game, the Teapot Turret came bundled with its own aforementioned superpowers that came in the form of gear. And by their very nature, all gear are server-side items, meaning that regardless of the fact that you, the client, spawn in the Teapot Turret on your character is also inherently server-side. By giving yourself an item like the Teapot Turret, you were able to bridge the gap between the server and the client with a single hat, which meant that anyone who knew about the Teapot Turret and what it was capable of was able to cause utter chaos. Take, for example, this clip that I showed in the intro of this video. This dude managed to use the haircut station at some roleplay game to give himself the Teapot Turret, and because it's a server-side action, he can now run around the entire server using the Teapot Turret's powers to destroy anything in his path. In fact, back in around 2015, 2016, roleplay games were nearly completely unplayable because of items like the Teapot Turret and other things that we'll get to later in this video being basically glitched into the game and just destroying everything. No server was safe. It was clear. The Teapot Turret had exposed a huge flaw in Roblox's inherent design, which left them in quite the conundrum. On one hand, they needed this client-server system for their platform to function in its intended way, but the current way the system worked was completely broken. If a single item like the Teapot Turret could do this much damage, imagine what could happen if someone was able to get different items into random games, items with server-side scripts like the Teapot Turret. Well, Roblox wouldn't have to wait very long to find out the answer to that question. Because much to the dismay of literally every Roblox player, the most dangerous exploit in the history of the platform was just beginning to emerge. It didn't take long for hackers to figure out how to hack server-side scripts into literally any Roblox game, and they did this using a method known as DLL injection. Now, I want to make something very, very clear and preface this section by saying that these days, DLL injection does not work, and we'll get to why that is the case later, but if you try it, you will get banned. So take it from me when I say do not try this yourself. DLL injection worked by, well, injecting server-side scripts into Roblox games using .dll files. This was extremely easy back in the day due to how insecure Roblox's own systems were. The client-server model, while functional, had innumerable vulnerabilities that allowed basically anyone with a functioning brain to download a random DLL injection tool or make their own and add whatever scripts they wanted to a Roblox game. Nowhere was this more obvious than games like Apocalypse Rising, The Mad Murderer, Prison Life, and many other popular games a decade ago that were nearly unplayable. Almost every single server you went into had someone using DLL injecting to break the game. Sometimes they would use their ill-gotten power for good, like making every item in the game free. But the vast majority of times, they would use it to troll the entire server. And that, of course, brings me to Cool Kid. Cool Kid is one of the most infamous hackers in the history of Roblox, and he was by far the most known user of DLL injection with his now iconic Cool GUI. It's been used in any number of Roblox games at this point, from extremely popular ones to super niche ones. And while some of the hacks that Cool Kid used were objectively pretty funny, they did far more harm than good, which meant that Roblox had to take action. And action they took. And it came in the form of a Roblox Studio Engine update known as FilteringEnabled. FilteringEnabled is one of the most important updates Roblox has ever made to their entire platform, doing a whole heck of a lot of good, but also a whole heck of a lot of bad. So let's break it down. Before this update, the client directly interacted with the server and was extremely easy to break because there were no checks and balances done to approve client actions. What FilteringEnabled did was essentially sever the connection between the client and the server, making it so that only server-approved actions, or actions intended to be accomplished by the game itself, could be performed. Games with FilteringEnabled on were much harder to hack because the old tricks with classic DLL injection would now only affect you, the client, meaning that whatever you were doing with those hacks only affected you and not the game. Before FilteringEnabled, a player could pick up a part and the entire server would see the player pick up that part. But with FilteringEnabled on, the player could pick up the part, but it would only show up for the player and not actually have any effect on the game itself. And this is what broke a lot of the scripts like Cool GUI. So, problem solved, right? Everybody clinks glasses and goes home. Well, not exactly. While threats like the Teapot Turret and other DLL injection items were neutralized for the most part by this update, FilteringEnabled also caused a lot of old Roblox games to completely break. Games with old code that didn't update to account for FilteringEnabled were rendered nearly unplayable, as various processes that used to affect both the client and the server directly now only affect one, and not the entire game itself. This could cause any number of weird bugs to happen, from rounds just not happening in some turn-based games, to weapons not being given to players at all, to games just flat out preventing anyone from doing anything. And while the up-to-date modern games were now mostly free of hackers, older games were gone for good. And it's all thanks to the Teapot Turret. It's really insane to believe that this item was capable of starting this whole mess. Being the catalyst to some of the most dramatic Roblox updates ever made is not something that's often attributed to a hat, but it really was the Teapot Turret that exposed this enormous flaw. In fact, a few years back, Roblox finally neutered the Teapot Turret for good by removing every single script inside it, rendering it as nothing more than a rather large teapot that stands as a reminder of what it used to be capable of. Hopefully, Roblox never makes another hat with this much power ever again, or who knows what might happen because of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.